we're going to do now is we're going to get started. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to share. See, I had somebody say to me before, Tonya, you're the conversationalist. And I said, you know what, that sounds about right.
I would go back to the day that I left the love of my life, but it was an abusive relationship. And I heard myself singing it. I didn't say it out loud, but I heard myself singing it. Girl, you gotta start loving you. I knew I wasn't gonna start loving him, but I needed to start loving me.
That's good.
I know who I am, but maybe I know whose I am.
Come on now.
And I didn't know that growing up early, being in a family of all kinds of, I'm just gonna use the word dysfunctional therapy. Yes. I emphasize, I couldn't go tell my mama this. I couldn't go tell my brother this. I couldn't tell my sisters this. But I emphasize therapy.
My thing is you have got to come to a place of really understanding who you are and knowing your value. So we're gonna be up close and personal right now. It's one thing when you talk to people that you know, but it's really different when you begin to talk to people that you don't know. Yeah. And when you wanna share information with others, because I really wanna help and I wanna see people's lives change, then that means a lot. And that's basically what you guys are doing right now. And again, I say thank you.
When you was talking and you were saying we compare our bad, as you were saying that, what came to my mind was a seed. And no matter what kind of seed it is, you have to plant it. And before a seed could even be whatever it's gonna be, it has to break. And all seeds, most seeds look the same when you plant them, but we'll sit there and say, but they put it in the dark soil, or they over there in this kind of soil, but whatever it is, we all must be broken before we can get to what it is that we're gonna be. So even if your soil don't look like my soil, or even if I'm looking at you and I'm thinking you got it all together, I don't know your broken state that you had to endure to get to the state that I'm comparing myself to. And then I'm sitting here looking like, well, woe is me, but you looking at me like you so strong. You're looking at me thinking, oh, if I could carry my burdens the way you carry yours. And I'm looking at you like, I wish I didn't have any, not knowing that, which one of y'all said it last night, I got a mask on. I'm masquerading as a strong person, but I'm really this weakling because I haven't embraced my broken state.
Yes.
And when you said that, I was just like,
embrace it all. The whole process.
The process.
The process. And I'm telling you, and that's what, even for what we're doing here right now, it's a matter of exposing a thing.
Yes.
It's a matter of revealing it. So come on, bring it. Look, we'll turn to it. Everybody just turn this.
I'm like, what? Because she said, can I get transparent?
I just want to get transparent because I'm sitting here, surrounded by all this strength, all these beautiful women, and I am in step with them, so it appears. But you said something about talking about the past, but really sometimes not even looking at the present. And if I can get 100% honest, I'm still trying, I'm on the path of trying to discover who I am. Now I know who you say you see, and I know the labels that were put on me. I know all of that, but it's a difference between head and heart knowledge, right? So I'm still in the transition of what I know in my head and what I really know in my heart. I'm still in transition, even sitting here.
Yes. Come on.
It's so obvious to me, that I got so much more work to do. So much more work to do. I could not even decide, do I put this shirt on? Is how this look? Do I, when I left home, I was so sure of what I wanted, right? But then I get in the midst of other people and I'm still doing what they're comparing. Do I measure up? Do I, what I'm saying? Even sitting here, having been chosen, by him.
Come on.
Through you.
Come on.
And I still question.
Right there.
You know, this is a process, but this is what I'm grateful for, to be in the process. Because there was a time when you could have tossed me to and fro. Whatever was whatever. All I needed to do was just get in where I fit in. So whatever I had to do, which is a whole lot of my story, doing things, looking for love and acceptance.
My God.
Yep. 100%.
Anything. How dare I look at the next person and look, because you said comparing, who said comparing is bad, right? So if you don't know, you know I struggled with drugs for over 30 years. I mean, but that wasn't my own, that was just a symptom of what the real problem was. See, because you got to go, talk about that root that grows so far down. So you got to get to the root, because I wasn't able to see. I was not able to see until, by God's grace and mercy, I was able to walk into recovery. And I've been in recovery now for almost 8 years. And I'm just now getting to the tip of what's really going on with me. The abandonment. I didn't know what to call it. All I know is I felt different. My father wasn't there. You got a daddy, I don't. I thought my grandfather wasn't my father. And when you're my aunt, said, no, that's my daddy and not yours. So now I'm feeling some type of way. Like it just started. You know what I'm saying? So many stories I could tell. But at the end of the day, when I really look at it, I was looking for love and acceptance. So I was willing to do whatever. But I don't want to sit here and pretend, or not even pretend, or continue to be the victim. Because let me tell you, I did some things myself. These things that happened to me, yes, they were travesties. They should not have happened. There were a lot of things that happened out of my control. But at the end of the day, I started having choices and options. And the choices that I made, you know, I still got to wear the consequences of those. I became the abuser. You know, being abused, you know, but see, I would wear that mask saying, you did this. I'm allowed to do that. I held on to that anger, that bitterness, that all of that, just going through life, not caring who I hurt, not caring. Now I couldn't say that I didn't care. I thought I did. To be honest, sitting right here, I'm still trying to learn how to love me. I admire you when you say you decided to love you. I'm still trying to do that.
Yes.
On any given day, I'm still not feeling myself. I'm still not sure. Even when I know I'm a child of God, he doesn't have to do it, but he shows me time and time again how much he cares for me, how much he loves me. I remember saying to him, if you be who you say you are, do something that only I know that you did it, because nobody else. He don't have to do that. So let me tell you what I did with that, because he did that. Because that's just the kind, you know what, he did that. Things that only he could have made manifest, and I knew it was him. So let me tell you what I did with that. In my self-centeredness, I became cocky. And I'm going to do what I want to do anyway, because guess what he going to do? He going to forgive me. He going to, you know what I'm saying? Using even the word, using even his love, I became a user, an abuser, or whatever, by any means necessary. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Not even. So what I've learned on my journey is to accept, not to carry other people's mess.
Yes.
That we sometimes get, you know, bogged down with the shame and the guilt of what somebody did to me, but owning up to my part.
Come on, come on.
I have to own up to my part.
Lord God.
I played a part. When I was molested, he knew better. I was only, 4 or 5 years old? But guess what? Can I admit that I was all right with it? I didn't know that's what was going on. All I know is he said I could come in his little shed and play with his bicycle or what have you. Remember, I'm looking for love and acceptance. And so he liked me. So he's touching on me, and I'm all right with that because I get to hang out with him. Jesus. And then as time went on, I learned that a woman's body can get some things. But I was quick to say, ain't no trick. I don't do no tricking when I was, in the streets, if you will. See, I was in the streets, but I had a home, I had a car, I knew how to dress. I can dress up real good. And then I would look at you who might be standing on the corner.
Go ahead, Charniece. Go ahead.
And say, oh my God, look at you, won't you go home? Let me tell you what happened in my thing. It became progressive and it kept going on and on. Before long, I was, look, oh no, I ain't tricking because I know his real name. I call him to my house, right? Wow. I know where he really lives. So I'm not a trick. You're the trick because you jumping in and out of cars. At the end of the day, when I tell you we were exactly the same, we were exactly the same. Man, this journey of learning who I am, the part that I play, which is the most significant. Because had I did something like this, let's say a year or two ago, I would have been coming from a place of bitterness and still pointing the finger at how dare you do this to me? You did that. I'm not even there anymore. You did it. Now, guess what? God's gonna use it. I posted yesterday, he will allow you to stand on the heap of your past and use that as the platform to declare his glory. None of my life wasted. That is the I get some kind of comfort out of knowing all the hell I've been through. It's not wasted.
Yes.
And I said, God, why me? He said, why not you? Somebody had to do it. So somebody else can make it.
Come on.
Nobody wakes up and say, I want to be a drug addict. I can't eat, I can't sleep. The drug dictated everything I did. You ain't going to the bathroom. You gonna sit right here for 3 days with the same clothes on. I'm telling you, the drug dictated everything. Nobody wants that. For anybody who feels that they out there and can just stop, I'm here to tell you it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. But by the grace of God, looking in that mirror and seeing a shell of a person, spiritually bankrupt. I was the walking dead already and wanted to die, but couldn't. He had something for me. Couldn't. I asked him, bust my heart. When I smoke this next rock, bust my heart, please, because I'm too much of a punk to just, I ain't gonna cut my wrist. I remember one time, I put a little slit on this side, jumped the vein, and then, I jumped the vein and then put a little, I'm looking for attention. I'm just searching and all of that, man, just.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a whole lot of closure that's happening.
Right.
In this moment.
My God.
For you, for everybody even, experiencing this and going through this with us, who watches. So I'm grateful for that. Even as I'm sitting here, my thing is, tell me who you are. Give me your name. Talk to me.
Charniece Martina Harris.
Tell me who you are.
Charniece Martina Harris.
Come on,
Tell me who you are.
Charniece Martina Harris.
Tell me something about yourself.
And I am a child of God.
Come on, somebody. And I do that, and I say that's something I ask often, just tell me your name, tell you who you are. There's an ownership that we all have to take of who we are and really embracing that person. But I'm so grateful even as you open up and to be able to say, because a lot of times, and that's the thing too, a lot of times people feel like in order for me to be delivered, that must mean there's nothing going on in my life and I'm not experiencing anything, and that's not the truth. The deliverance is in a matter of like, this is happening now and you can deal with it. You're not afraid to talk about it. Go ahead and you're no longer hiding behind. I'm able to say, I'm able to speak, I'm able to confess those types of things. That's when you really know I'm growing. There's change, there's things happening. So I'm grateful because we needed to hear that. People need to hear that. It's so easy to read something or see something and to listen to somebody and it's like, man, they just got it all together. Nobody has it all together.
Right. Yes.
The way that we have it together is because I can acknowledge.
Yes.
That's good. That's powerful right there.
She said that.
You understand?
Yes.
I'm still on the journey to find. I'm still on the journey to. It's acknowledging that.
Yes.
That everybody. It's like, and that's the thing, because we could be in different places, but going to the same place.
That's right. I want to go back
You
to
gonna
what
get
you
there.
said about, tell me who you are. What's your name?
Yes.
When I found out at a very early age that my dad, that I called dad, was not my dad. Where is my daddy? Why do my brothers have someone different from me. And it wasn't told to me until much later. I'm grateful to my father, who I call my father, who has passed on, for giving me his name. He married my mother and gave me his name. But then it made me feel some kind of way. Why didn't my dad toss me away? And then as I got a little older, to find out that he just wanted to get out of the child support. It was okay that he signed the paperwork to give another man his child, to allow me to have his name. But then I look at my stepfather, who is my real father, just signing the paperwork like it was nothing, to give me his name, so that my whatever children would come along after that, we would all have the same name and there would never be a question. But then, you know, what is evil in this world will rise up again, and my biological father decided to come back. And then he started all kind of strife, saying, I'm going to take her from school. She's going to know that I'm her father. And so I saw that battle as a little girl, and then starting to feel like I didn't belong anywhere. You know, I just had all of these feelings on the inside that I just kind of suppressed, because by this time I had 2 younger brothers that were looking at me. They looked upon me to do everything. My mother had to go back to work, and even at the babysitters, I had to watch my brothers. But even in the midst of that, someone there, the babysitter, took advantage of me. And then I had to suppress that too. So really, who am I? I'm this thrown away child that now has a name from somebody who really isn't my father. But then I go on to find out that my mother even contemplated having an abortion. You know, she got all the way there to have the abortion and broke down, appointment and all, and called a cab and left. And I'm thinking, I almost wasn't here. So then I get here, and then the person who's responsible for me getting here doesn't even want me. And then he tosses me away so that some other man can give me his name. So I grew up with that. And then I have someone who I'm supposed to trust as my babysitter who takes advantage of me. Not even a man, a female. So then I have to deal with that. And I go on and I put on this face, and I never say a word to anybody. So a lot of people are going to be very surprised when they hear this. But then, you know, trying to have a relationship with the biological father, because it's the right thing to do. And then for him to share certain things with me. But my mom got impregnated by him in a graveyard. Why did I need to know that? Are you trying to hurt me even more? Are you working to hurt my mother even more? So now I have to now carry that. I was conceived in a graveyard. Then I go on and I'm almost aborted. And then I'm tossed away and then claimed by somebody. What in the world? And I am to go through my life and to be okay. But we're told, you know, hush that, don't talk about that. What are you talking about? You know, everything pushed under. And I learned how to wear the mask. I learned how to go forth and do things as I should. Be the good little girl. Make the good grades. Go to college. Do what's right. Get a husband. Get married. Have children. Do everything in order and proper. That's the way I was raised. But the pain has always been there, and it had so much to do with the relationships that I had along the way. I was engaged twice before I got married, but I said, something said don't do it. But then I got called the runaway bride. You know, that was the nickname from my ex-husband. And then for things just to go all the way to the left and choosing someone who I thought God said he was the one, but then, oh my, the world got a hold of him and everything just went all the way to the left. So I understand about wearing that mask and having to go forth and be everything that society says that you should be. And we have all these demons that crop up. There were times that I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. I'd look away. Every mirror in the house, I wouldn't even look at myself. And everyone, oh, you're so beautiful. You're this, you're that. No, I'm not. Y'all don't know what I have to deal with, and be up in the middle of the night just crying. And then now, you know, you have to put on a face after you have children. And then they witness some of the dysfunctional things that you have to deal with in your life. And then now you see history repeating itself. That generational curse that you now have to deal with. And then you're like, Lord, what do I do to break this curse? I will not have a child of mine that has to walk in this life with those demons just haunting them every single solitary day. Lord, give me what it is that I need to press forward and give my life in everything. So I dedicated my life to my children so that I could break the curse. I didn't care what battle I had to fight. I didn't care how many sleepless nights I had to have, but I was going to make sure that whatever this thing is, it stops here.
Yes.
So to God be the glory. I am so thankful for getting through a very abusive marriage.
Yes.
I'm thankful for the fact that my very angry son, oh my God, put out of schools, and just so many things that have happened along the way with him. But then he's a senior. He's a senior this year, and he's going to college. And I tell you, it was a lot of sacrifice in that. My black son that I have had to do whatever it took for him to make it through. And then a very confused daughter who said to me at age 12, Mama, I think I might like girls because I hate my daddy. So how do you deal with those things? And you get through, but to God be the glory on the other side. I will tell my story. I will sing it as loud as I possibly can to help the next, because you know what? There is better. And hey, I said it yesterday. If it ain't good, it's not God, and he's not done yet. So I know that if something is not good in my life, God's simply not done yet. And as he continues to move forward, I'm going to continue to just give him the highest praise and do all that I can to help the next.
Tell me something. How did you know that now is time to say something? What made you say it's time?
There was a shift with me. I woke up and it was just a different kind of day. And I said, you know what? I know God is saying to me, now is the time. You've raised your children. You're in a good place now. And you're about to be an empty nester. You know what? There's somebody who needs to hear this, that's going through. And then I thought back to last December when my son gave a speech at the Boys to Men Foundation. And he spoke so highly of me and all that I was like, wow, who is this guy? Oh my God. But then the mothers that came up to me afterwards, like, wow, you know, pretty much, how do I get my son to write a letter like that about me? But it was just an amazing experience. So I thought back to those lives that have been changed just in hearing through my son, the one who had put me through hell just to raise him as a single mother with no support from his father. You know, I said, God, okay, I hear you. That still small voice that speaks to you, that tells you that this is what you must do, even though it may not make a lot of sense and you're scared to death because you've had all of this suppressed for so long. I put my children in counseling, but oh, not me, I'm okay. I'm okay. But that last session with my son, the counselor said, so Mom, how are you? And I looked at him and broke down in tears like nobody had ever asked, how are you? I was doing the dang thing, raising those kids and keeping that house and doing, but nobody asked about me.
We're not used to that question.
That's right.
Exactly.
I don't think most people are used to that. Oftentimes we're not asked, and I think even when people say, how you doing? Quick, we say what? Fine. I mean, it's behavior. You know, it's like you talk, anything with your children, somebody say, hey man, how you doing? Like you say fine. You know, and we teach it. And it's who we are, we just know to do. And we don't really, really have people that sit down and ask, and then times that you want to do and seek counsel. Oftentimes we're taught that that's really not something or a good thing that you should do. And I just even think, and I'm going to be bold enough to even say this, you know, here I am, even as with women of faith, but I think a lot of times, and even as we know, we go to God and that He is all that we need, but at the same time, He's given each of us giftings. So as He's given us dominion in the earth, He's also given us giftings where I can pick up the phone, I might call you because it's something that you're going to say to me, and it's still Him speaking, but through a vessel. And I think a lot of times we cancel out help, thinking that it's a matter of getting in the corner, picking up the word, just sitting there reading that. Do you understand what I'm saying? He sends answers a lot, but we miss them. You know? And so even as you were talking, my sister, I'm sitting here and all I kept hearing in my spirit was, you all have need of each other. That's just, I kept hearing it over and you have need. Y'all need each other. You need each other. We need each other. So even to be here having the conversation, for us to be here shining together, you know what I mean? It's because there's a need. There is a need. And people do need to hear. And there's something that you will say that I can't say. There's something in the way you'll explain it I won't be able to. But when I heard you, oh my God, you know, it's powerful.